Good evening, it's 6:30 p.m. and time to know all that happened in South India today with me, T.S. Sudhir on Up South. Our top story today is from Bengaluru, where the Karnataka Transport Ministry has also cracked the whip on Uber and in fact some other taxi services flying in the city of Bengaluru. Yesterday it was the turn of the Telangana government, which had banned Uber after the Delhi episode. And like in Telangana, Karnataka Transport Department also said that Uber was not registered with it and has now stipulated that taxis should display a yellow glow sign saying city taxi, and the uniform should be white for all city drivers. Meanwhile, in Bengaluru too, the city police has decided to ensure verification of all drivers of cabs in the city.
More troubled rules for taxi aggregators who are applying in Bangalore. I'm joined by the Transport Commissioner, Mr. Ramay Gada. Thank you so much for joining us. My first question to you. Uber taxi, banned in Karnataka, they're not being registered at all?
Yeah, they are not registered under Motor Vehicle Act. That's why there is no need to, go in detail. Just because since they are registered, as an aggregator or operator, we have concern about it. But these fellows, this in Uber taxi, what you are telling, they are not registered in RTO or RTA or anywhere else.
So one question is, how many of them are actually operating in the city, and how many of them are actually registered, how many are unregistered or working illegally?
So 8 players are here in this thing in our city. That's KSDC, Ola, Meru, Easy Cab, Bangalore Cabs, Mega Cabs, Star City Taxis and Rapid.
So these are the only legal ones that are registered and plying in the city and are allowed to?
Yeah.
Let's get in a word from Rohini Swami, who has been reporting on this story from Bengaluru. Rohini, what does this indicate? That the Transport Ministry, the department was all along completely blissfully unaware of what was happening under its own nose, that there were so many of them actually flouting the rules?
Absolutely, and they had no clue that they will keep, so many radio taxi operators would come, and they almost open one per year. And the fact that Bangalore has 8 operators that are allowed to operate, 3 of them have been banned. Not out of the 8, that means a total of 11, 3 others have been banned. Taxi for sure, cars on rent and Zoom cars. Now, it is now that it's a wake-up call for the Karnataka government. They decided to crack the whip on not just on radio taxi operators, but also on all taxi drivers, because they said they are going to insist on the fact that their background needs to be checked. Here I'm joined by Adra. Adra, you're a part of a project called Be Safe, which is a BPAC, but also Be Safe is about safety of women. A lot of young professionals, women also, use these kind of radio taxis. The question is, do you feel secure? That's the first question everybody asks. Do you feel secure now, in spite of the fact that the government has said these are the service providers who are legally operating in the city?
So personally, I have been a frequent user of the radio taxis and I have never felt unsafe. But after the Uber incident coming to light, I am now cautious, because I know that though there is a safety mechanism that they are promising, they are actually not tracking. And now that is a worrisome situation, because we always travel late at night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., thinking that there is somebody who's actually monitoring us. But if that is not there, then that is a really...
But part of your program is also the onlooker program, where you're creating awareness amongst people. If such things happen, they report immediately to emergency numbers?
Right. So what we're trying to do is, we are going to launch a program called Role of a Bystander campaign. We've all been bystanders at some point of time, and we will encounter situations where we will be bystanders. But the choice is on us if we would like to be an active bystander or a passive bystander. And hence we are planning to do an entire awareness campaign where we are encouraging people to actually stand up for somebody in need. And we'll be also giving them emergency numbers that they can actually call and reach out to the police and ensure that the person who wants help is, attended to. So that is the entire idea behind the Role of the Bystander campaign.
So while the government is doing their bit, society also is doing their bit as part of their commitment to what they have to do in making their city safe, people feel safe. But at the same time, the Karnataka government has a little dough behind the other cities who had first banned Uber, finally decided to do that. But the most important part is now that they have put some new amendments to the rules that they have already set. But these amendments have to be put in place, and the deadline is December 31st for all those taxi operators to do their background verifications.
Right, Rohini, thanks a lot for joining us from Bengaluru. Also with us, M.N. Reddy, the Bangalore Police Commissioner. Mr. Reddy, the Delhi rape incident actually exposed how unsafe many of these cabs are for women. Now, do you think that this is an area which has hitherto been ignored in many cities of India, including in Bengaluru?
Well, public transport is an area where a lot needs to be done in India.
Right.
Auto rickshaws, taxis, the taxi growth phenomenon is also new. So therefore, I would say that there could have been done, lot could have been done, but we are doing it now.
Right. Mr. Reddy, what would be the 1, 2, 3, 4 steps that you would like to take immediately to ensure that no one is really able to tamper with the systems that are put in place?
No, I would like to say one thing, that there is nothing like 100% security for anything or anybody for that matter. Having said that, I don't want to sound pessimistic. I think we need to get very systematic. We need to put processes in place. It's a rigorous task of ensuring that the quality processes are completely complied with. Quality requirements, quality in terms of safety here, for example. So let's say maintenance of a database of all the drivers, making sure that all the drivers have had their police verification done, maybe repeating the verification probably once in a year or once in 2 years, as and when the cab comes for renewal. There are some of these things that need to be, and also consistent and better enforcement on the road by the transport department and police department is required. So I would say that at the same time, I would say that millions of trips are being conducted every day in this country. I can speak about Bangalore city. A large number of women travel in taxis in Bangalore city. I would want us to have some kind of a balanced understanding of this. As we speak, there are a large number of single women who are working women in Bangalore who travel from abroad, who travel from another part of the country, who get on at the airport and they travel.
Right.
And we haven't had such occasions where such a thing has happened. But we wouldn't want to generalize this as well. So we have to do a very balanced approach.
Right. Mr. M.N. Reddy, thanks a lot for joining us on Up South. Let's also get in a word from Amit Prasad, who is the MD of SatNav Technologies, that is into GPS solutions, because the kind of systems that are put in place extremely significant. Mr. Prasad, as someone who is into GPS solutions, would you say installing GPS does cut out the risk factor by almost 100%, or is the entire system overhyped?
True. As you rightly said, we've been in the GPS domain for close to 15 years now, and I can say with confidence that installing a GPS device is just the first step of the entire cycle. So you install a unit, and once you've done that, then you have to maintain it that way. So you're talking about SIM card being active, then the data has to be sent to the server has to be maintained properly. After that, someone has to analyze that data, either real time or post-mortem. And that whole cycle is what is making GPS as redundant in India, because end-to-end is not being done by any player.
Mr. Prasad, about 1,000 of the 20,000 cabs which are operating in and around Hyderabad have GPS installed. Now, would we say that these are 100% safe, or even these GPS installed cabs actually falter in the manner in which they actually maintain these GPS systems?
The big issue now is with regard to the process that is being followed post the tracking. For example, I was returning from the airport one day, and one of the leading cab companies was ferrying me back. And as he exits the airport, I see him disconnecting the GPS wire. And he says that once I go to the city, they'll bug me with another order. So that's it. Now, my question is that when you have disconnected that wire, is there an alert that goes out to anyone? On the basis of that alert, is somebody acting on it? If there is an emergency call that somebody sitting in a cab gives, is there a mechanism to take care of that? So the point today is, it's not just about the availability of technology. We can easily copy, we can buy internationally, and we can put it here. But the big challenge is, after you have made it available, how are you ensuring that it is being implemented, not tampered with, and whatever live information is there, it is being acted upon. For example, let's say you're going from your home to a party place. You can always have a geofence set around that area. And if the car deviates from that path, you can get an alert. Technology allows you to do that today. But the question is that when that deviation alert comes out, who's going to act on it? I think that's where we are missing the real woods for the trees in India today. And it's a very crucial juncture where implementation of GPS is totally faltering.
Right, Mr. Amit Prasad, thanks a lot for joining us with that perspective on this important safety issue that is concerning a whole lot of us living in India's cities. Thanks a lot. Up south, now when you mention Rajnikant, the first word that comes to your mind is the word superstar. We meet the man who gave Rajnikant the title of the superstar way back in 1978.
S. Dhanu is one of the well-known producers in Tamil cinema, but his calling card remains that he christened.
அப்ப வந்த உடனே என்ன வந்து அவர் பெரிய விளம்பரம் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு விளம்பரம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் அவர் பார்க்கறது விட்டு அந்த மகிழ்ச்சியை ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கணும்னு உடனே என்ன பண்றாரு அங்க இருக்கிறவங்கள டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட்டர் யாரு அவரை நான் பார்க்கணும் அப்படின உடனே இருக்காரான்னு கேட்டோம் உடனே தானு உன்னை கூப்பிடுறாங்க ரஜினி சார் கூப்பிடுறாருன்னு போகும்போது பிடிக்கும்போதே ஒரு சந்தோஷத்தினுடைய உச்சம் அது fantastic publicity, beautiful publicity, fantastic publicity. அப்படி ரொம்ப எக்ஸைட்டிங்கா சத்தம் போட்டு கட்டி.
The movie Bhairavi did very well, but Rajnikant was quite uncomfortable with the superstar tag, especially with actors like Shivaji Ganesan and MGR who were still around. When this was conveyed to Dhanu, he immediately put up a new ad hailing Rajni as the great superstar. In fact, in typical Chennai style, Rajni fans still call him the super.
Every letter has a style. If you say SUPER, that S has a style, U has a style, that is in his character. So this superstar is going to give many styles in the film, that speed in the film, energy in the film, and whatever is going to be the story, without knowing anything, we are sitting there and we are going to watch that superstar coming first.
Linga releases tomorrow. In fact, the first show will be at 1 o'clock in the night at Kasi Theatre in Chennai. What can we expect from Rajni's latest release? Let's hear from those who have made the movie.
Sir, you have given dates to a lot of producers, big, small, everybody, everything in the industry. This time you have selected a fan as a producer.
It's always connected to the spiritual side of it also. Of course he gives a punch dialogues. That's good. Everybody likes him because of that, and I think it should be a different movie altogether what Rajini makes. I think the Rajini style will come.
I'm from Andhra. I have watched his film like Robo. It is very good film, and many people like Rajini in Andhra also, and Andhra and as well as Telangana state. He is a very big actor in Bollywood and as well as he is a South Indian superstar in one word. So we are expecting very much about Linga.
It is truly needed today.
Ramanandam, whose feat of having acted in nearly 1,000 films, plays the role of a corrupt sub-inspector.
I did 1,000 films. That's nothing before him. You made it 1,000 films. You made it 2,000 films. That's a different matter. But work with Rajnikant. That sentence can be written on your diary in green letters.
The movie Linga faced a major hiccup in the last minute in the form of the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court that asked the producer of the movie to pay up 10 crore rupees before the release of the movie after hearing a petitioner who claimed that the story was his. The producer did say that he would abide by the court order to ensure that the movie Linga hits the screens on Rajnikant's birthday. With Ratnika Sharma in Hyderabad, Pratibha Raman, Chennai, Headlines Today.
Joining me now from Kasi Theatre in Chennai is my colleague Pratibha Raman. Pratibha, bring us a sense of the mood. It must be a mood of anticipation given the fact that the first show is just about 6 hours away.
Well, today if I have to capture the mood in one word, and that is going to be frenzy, and I'm right outside the Kasi Theatre here. Let me actually pan and show you the kind of posters that have already been put up, and in fact all of them are waiting with bated breath for the clock to strike 1, and that is when they will add all kinds of celebrations here. It's more like a festival when it comes to Rajnikant's movie releasing, and more so now because it is releasing on his birthday, so that itself is a big deal here. And in fact I have with me a fan who recently met Rajnikant and he still cannot recover from that shock. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, of course. It's a dream come true for me, like when I met him in Shimoga. And I've come all the way from Bangalore to enjoy this environment and to enjoy with Chennai fans. And it's a double treat for us as it is releasing on 12/12. So no words to say, and like We are going to watch 1 o'clock show, 4 o'clock show, 8 o'clock show.
It's almost an experience today, and I have with me one fan who actually is Rajnikant. He imitates Rajnikant. Or 1 or 2 dialogues namak solungal.
கனானா எப்போ வருவேன் எப்படி வருவேன்னு யாருக்கும் தெரியாது ஆனா வர வேண்டிய நேரத்துல கரெக்ட்டா வருவேன்.
That literally means we really do not know when Rajnikant would actually hit the screens, but he would make it on time and in the most unexpected manner. Come on, pa, whistle podunga Rajnikant.
Excuse me, I want to say only one thing. Talaivar is not a human being. He is not even a supernatural human being. He is only one and only living God. One and only living God.
So that's the kind of craziness that you see here. Sudhir, back to you.
Right, Pratibha, it's definitely like a festival as it's the first movie of Rajnikant that is releasing on his birthday. Tomorrow Up South will be live from Chennai. You wouldn't want to miss that as we bring you the review of Linga and all the expectations and the reactions to the movie.